What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Godspeed CRC. Now, in my last video, I took my Jeep Rubicon 392 to CarMax to get it appraised, and it's caused quite an uproar. So those of you that have been watching the channel for a while already know I'm actually in the business myself. I'm currently a finance manager at an import store. Now, with all that being said, today I want to show you guys the actual process of getting a trade appraisal number, getting the value for a car whenever you take it to a dealership, and I'm going to show you guys what that Rubicon 392 is really worth. Now, if you haven't already seen my video of taking the Jeep to CarMax, definitely go check it out. It was a pretty good video, and it was cool to see the process behind it. Now, with that being said, the number they came up with was pretty darn low. So it is Saturday here at the dealership, and we are starting to get pretty darn busy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the behind the scenes on how a car actually gets appraised. And we're going to pull up my Rubicon 392 that we just got appraised here recently at a different used car dealership lot. So I'm going to go through and show you guys pretty much everything. That way you know what not only to expect on the Rubicon 392, but maybe even your own car. So I've got the appraisal pulled up, and as you guys can see, I've got the mileage set at 12,500, and whenever you click go, it's going to pull everything up right here. So the first thing you're going to notice is going to be the average list price on these vehicles. So with the odometer readings from 16,000 all the way down to 10,000, with ratings from B to C+, you're going to see prices from 81, 84, 77, 81, and 77. So that is what these things are going for on the retail side. Now, whenever you use JD Power, you can see you've got average, clean, and rough. And right here, of course, it does have the towing package, and it does have, and that's all the options for that one. So there's not many options for it. You can see right here on trade-in, it's going to be listed at 71,200, and retail, which is what most banks actually go off of, they'll give you somewhere around 100, maybe 125, up to even 140% of the retail value on a loan. Each vehicle is a little bit different with each individual customer, but the retail value on this is $75,950. Now that's just JD Power. For Black Book, you're going to see things a little bit different. If we keep it at clean, it's going to stay right here, and it does have the cold weather package, and it has, if you click lift kit and wheels, which this one doesn't have a lift kit, it's just got the difference of the wheels and tires, but for this we'll have to do it. You'll see the wholesale value right here at $75,150, finance advance at $76,675, and retail at $82,375. So that changes things quite a bit. Whenever we unclick the lift kit wheels, it takes it down to $79,625. Now, MMR is going to show you basically everything that's being sold at auction and give you an average price. So with this one, just keep it at average, and we're in the Southeast region. Condition grade, we'll leave it open. That way we can really see all of them. Now, the average wholesale price is going to be $75,800. Average retail price is going to be $77,900. Now, whenever we go down to KBB, it does let you click a few extra options. So we've got oversized off-road tires, premium wheels, we got the towing package, we've got, that's about it. Everything else is added in standard on these Rubicon 392s. But you can see right here for trade-in, it's going to be based at $69,632. Fair purchase price is $76,133, and the typical listing price is $77,033. Now, essentially, I go over all that just to show you guys what these things are actually worth. Now, more times than not, most banks are going to go off of JD Power or KBB, something like that. It's a very consistent price, so you can see retail for that is going to be $75,950, like we already said. Trade-ins at $71,200. So that means they're going to have to get it as low as they can below $71,200 to be able to make money and still be able to sell it at $75,950 to be at 100%. Now, that doesn't include your taxes. So if you finance this amount, $75,950, tax, title, fees, you're going to probably be right around 115% of this vehicle, which is still decent. Most banks will loan off that, but that's what dealerships have to keep in mind. Now, I know some of that can be pretty confusing, especially if you're not used to dealing with it day to day, but that is the process that most dealerships are going to go through whenever they're giving you a trade appraisal number, because they're going to be trying to see what they can price it for in the market, what rank they're going to be at compared to everything else around, and even aside from that, they're going to have to account for the amount of profit they need to make on that vehicle. So that all goes into the number they give you as a trade appraisal. Now, in more cases than not, whenever you're looking up a vehicle that's quite a bit more common, obviously they're listed more in the market and they're sold more at auction. So that gives you more information to go off of. With something like the Rubicon 392, there aren't as many and there are some pretty big variations between the ones that are being sold. So the dealer really has to use a lot of their own inclination and discernment to figure out what number is going to work best, not just for what works on these numbers, but what they're actually going to be able to sell at the store they're at. So that all comes into play whenever you're getting a trade value, especially on something kind of crazy like the Rubicon 392. So it's actually the next day here, guys, and I am driving the Rubicon 392 today. So I wanted to kind of show you guys what the actual trade appraisal process is like whenever you show up to a normal dealership. Now, I already kind of showed you what it's like whenever you go to CarMax. Obviously, that's quite a bit different. But at 99% of other dealerships, it's pretty much going to be what I'm going to show you today. And after they get done with that initial trade-in process, before the negotiation, that's whenever they go through that entire breakdown on your vehicle to really see what the value of it is, what they can sell it for, and what they could be able to get a loan on it for future customers. And that's basically what they give you the number off of. Now, depending on the car you're trading in, the car you're looking at, and how gullible you may seem, I'd say you get a number $3,000 to $7,000 under what that value they're going to come up with really is, because obviously dealerships are in it to make money as well. Now, with that being said, the trade process is pretty much the same for every dealership. So I'm going to show you a few things that may help you out next time you go to trade a car. That way you at least know what to expect and you're not thrown a curveball by some little tactic that they use. So starting off from the beginning, obviously you will pull up to the dealership. So once you do pull up to the dealership, typically you'll walk inside, talk to a salesperson, tell them what car you're interested in. You'll do the test drive on the car, all that stuff. But right after you get back from test drive, you pull back in. Before you look over numbers, they're going to want to go over your trade. So let's imagine, for the sake of this video, as a customer, I've already done the test drive on the vehicle that I'm looking to purchase. I've already talked with the salesperson. Now at this point, they'll probably walk outside, get the VIN number off the car as well as the mileage. Whenever they walk outside to do that, they'll usually just be like, if you'll give me the keys, I'll go out there and check it out. The best thing to do is whenever they ask for the keys, say, here you go, I'll walk outside with you and show you around it. So the same process the salesperson has done with you, showing you their car, you should also show them your car. It's the same process. So if there's any questions that pop up, you'll be there to answer them. So a lot of times you'll get simple questions like, what's the reason you're wanting to trade this in? Any major issues that we should know about? Have you done anything outside of routine maintenance for upkeep on this vehicle in the last 6 months? How long have you had it? Were you the first owner? All those basic questions. And of course, you can just come up with honest answers for that stuff. Now, another thing you'll notice is whenever they're walking around doing a initial inspection on the car, is a lot of times instead of saying anything, if they see a scratch, they may just touch it. So they'll walk around the car, they'll just touch it. If they see bald tires, they'll just touch it. They see a big ding, a dent, they'll just kind of touch it, not really say anything. More times than not, what the salesperson is wanting you to do is to just go ahead and open up about it. So in my past experience, whenever I walked around a trade-in and just touched a small scratch, they tell me the whole story. And same thing with any other minor imperfection, something that's really big, obviously they're going to tell you the story on that too. So it's really just to get you to open up about the car and devalue the car yourself. That way, whenever the salesperson comes back with a lower trade appraisal number, you kind of expect it. You're like, well, I know. So you went through that devaluing process. That's all they're trying to do. After you walk back inside, they put all the information in the system and attach it with the car you're looking at now. They'll go back up to their manager, take it to a used car manager or a sales manager, and they'll do an actual inspection. So they'll look over the car, they'll take pictures of it to scan it into the system, and they might take it around the parking lot or just to drive down the road, depending on the condition, age, and everything like that. Now on newer cars, most times they don't actually drive it if it's, under 20,000 miles or something like that. But a lot of places do regardless. So that's just something to keep in mind. And in all honesty, the salesperson's job, aside from just selling you the car, is to get you to devalue your own car. So if you come in expecting 25 before you come to the dealership, whenever you get there, maybe before you get the numbers going through that process, you may only expect 22. In your own head, just from saying the things that you went over with the salesperson. That's basically a $3,000 bump, same as it would be in the sales price, because it's $3,000 that you're not getting. Well, anyway, I hope today's video gave you a little bit of insight into the car business and also the value on my Rubicon 392. Obviously, the car markets went extremely high, it's went back low, it's kind of crazy right now. A lot of cars, even though the values are showing whatever they are, they're still going for crazy numbers. And a car's only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it. And in some areas, people are willing to pay some crazy money for crazy cars right now.
But if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. But until next time, Godspeed.